In just a few hours, U.S. President Joe Biden is set to face off with his predecessor, Donald Trump, in the first television debate ahead of this year's presidential election. It has traditionally been seen as the beginning of the real race for the White House, but many voters say they are not excited about either candidate.
I just wish that we had better candidates.
I just think they're both not fit to run in office.
We were built on diversity. It's a crying shame that this has come to this.
It will be the fourth time that Joe Biden and Donald Trump meet in a presidential debate. Typically, this verbal battle for the favor of voters is a highlight in the campaign calendar. This time, there is a noticeable lack of excitement. This, of course, has a lot to do with the age of the two candidates. We just heard that most Americans want someone younger to lead their country, someone they believe is capable of finding solutions for the significant challenges we face. During many public appearances, neither President Biden nor former President Trump seem to have the energy nor mental fitness that voters are looking for. In normal election years, the winner is determined by their ability to convincingly sell their political agenda. This year, people seem to be more focused on who will make the most mistakes and provide better fodder for internet memes.
I think Trump's going to go on the attack on Biden. I think he's going to hit him on a lot of key things. I think Biden's probably going to be on the defense a lot. I hope it's substantive. I hope they actually discuss the real issues.
From an international perspective, we will closely observe their stance on China, US commitment to NATO, and of course, support for Ukraine. However, many Americans may not even watch this first debate.
I don't really know how meaningful it would be, but people have been asking for it, and so we're going to do it, and they should do it.
I'm not going to watch it because why, right? Two big grown men yelling at each other, One's racist, the other one's a little too old.
I'm not planning to watch it. I've seen videos of both candidates talking, and both of them make me pretty sad to watch.
The biggest challenge for both candidates in the coming months will be to engage the double haters, those who dislike both candidates, and encourage them to vote in their favor rather than abstain out of sheer frustration.
Well, I got to say the people got to vote. You just got to vote, and see who you think is the best person for the country.
Well, I know some people who will be watching. It'll be yours truly and my colleague Ines Pohl in Washington, our bureau chief. She joins me now from Washington. Ines, the last time these two men were in the same room was, I think, October 2020 at their last debate. Times, of course, have changed. So have presidential debates. The rules, no audience this time, very structured. They have to both be on their best behavior. I mean, I know you may be rolling your eyes here, but will this be a night of just political performance for the world to watch?
Well, Brent, you can watch me tonight before and after the debate if I'm rolling my eyes, as we will, of course, continue our coverage until tomorrow morning, your time in Berlin. Well, while many international viewers might hope that policies and topics like the support of Ukraine or the commitment with NATO or the current situation in Europe even will play a major role, it will ultimately come down to how undecided voters will feel after tonight. Donald Trump has, in my opinion, a good chance of winning the debate if he can avoid being too aggressive, as this has harmed him in previous debates. And on the other hand, Joe Biden needs to appear strong and awake, fit for another 4 years in office. However, as expectations are so low, Biden also could earn some points if he just performs kind of okay.
These two candidates, we know that they really do not like each other. I mean, what are you expecting? I mean, do you think that this is going to stay civil, or can you imagine that the gloves are going to come off? I mean, are you worried, too, that that will end up being the story that will come from this debate?
Well, there really indeed is no respect for each other. I'm sure that Joe Biden will behave well. He will criticize Trump sharply. That's what we hear. That's his strategy. And also is going to warn people to remember the chaos and violence Donald Trump spread during his presidency. But he will do that in a way that is appropriate for a president. When it comes to Trump, it is really hard to predict, Brent. You just said there is no audience. The microphones will be muted once their talking time is over. That, of course, will change the tone of the conversation. I think Trump's advisors definitely want him to not get too aggressive, as, again, this has hurt him during the last debate in 2022. But it's hard to say, and we will watch.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined by Liz Schuelke. She's a political scientist and policy analyst in Washington, D.C. Liz, it's good to see you again. I'll start. I was in the U.S. last week, so I'm going to compare what I experienced to what you're experiencing. You're in the U.S. right now. Are they excited at all about what's going to be on television tonight?
Not really, no. I think at the end of the day, what will come out of tonight is not swaying a bunch of new voters. It will be playing to their bases. And the folks that bother to watch, we're going to watch regardless. And really what we'll see is engagement tomorrow around, were there any good, catchy sound bites?
Yeah, that's the feeling that I get, that this is going to be a big demonstration in political performative art, if you will, if you even want to call it art. But does it have anything to do with a real functioning, healthy democracy?
I mean, you could ask that question about the last decade of presidential debates. I don't think there has been a huge point in this entire election season where it has gotten to the nitty-gritty of what it takes to run a democracy. It has been barbs, it's been insults, it's been drama and sound bites. I do think there's a piece of the way they're structuring the debate that is trying to get to actual policy and actual substance. But in the age of social media, and specifically where we are right now as a country, no, it's a lot of theater.
Yeah, I mean, the last time that these two men were in the same room was, I think it was October 2020, at their last debate. Times have changed since then, so have the rules for presidential debates. There will be no live audience tonight, very structured. They will have to be on their best behavior. If we do get to a substantive discussion, what, in your opinion, are the issues that do need to be targeted?
I think, they're different for both sides. I think what Americans need to focus on is actually what their day-to-day lives will look like. Voting rights, the economy, women's rights. Those are the issues that probably would most impact Americans. Trump is going to try to hone in on what his base wants to see. And Biden, I think, is going to really focus on women's rights and the threat to democracy. And hearing really, truly who these people are. Some of the things that have been said by Trump at his rallies, is he going to repeat them? Some of the more incendiary off-script things, is he going to repeat them on a nationally televised debate? Because that might be a real insight into, oh, he's serious. Oh, he means this. And Biden, can he do this level of debate? And if he can, all right, maybe he has the stamina for 4 more years.
I mean, is that, at the end of the day, is that what we're looking for? We're looking for two elderly men, one, whether or not he has the stamina for the moment, the other, whether or not he can keep his composure for the moment. If either of these does not cash in tonight, do you think that will sway voters' opinions come Election Day?
I think the only swaying here will be if something kind of outrageous or on the far end of unlikely to happen happens, right? I think Biden's team will be looking for a soundbite they can run on ads between now and November. Does he say something that is maybe more of things he typically tells his insiders, and he's going to say it on a national stage? Does Biden completely flub it? If he does, there might be more to say on that, but short of kind of an outrageous experience on either side, I think this isn't that substantial.
And Liz, the timing of this, I mean, this is very early for a presidential debate. And we know, you and I both know, that a lot can happen between now and Election Day in November. We haven't even had the party conventions yet. So what's the point of having this debate now?
That's a great question and a great way to phrase it. And it is a reminder, this is early in the game. And yet all we've heard all year so far is, where's the presidential debate? Where's the campaign? The campaigns haven't even started. And I think this sense of that people on the ground are like, oh, it's an election year, what are we doing about this, is because there was not a robust primary on either side. The primary season ended kind of unprecedentedly early. And so folks need to be a little bit more plugged in. I cannot remember a year where we had any presidential debate before August.
Yeah.
So you're completely right. Setting it up a little early this season.
Very early indeed. Liz Schuelke joining us from Washington. Liz, as always, we appreciate your time and your analysis. Thank you.